We are Marshall. It's a true story, it's simple, it's profound, and it never could have happened without head football coach Jack Langle. What I came to learn in telling this story is that an effective coach isn't just an inspired field marshal or a genius with X's and O's. The unifying theme with legendary coaches, the one main thing that they all have in common is compassion for their players and dedication to their team. Bowden shows us the power of personal connections to activate our will. That guy also understands his priorities. Pat Summitt teaches that potential is realized through sustained, passionate effort. Lute Olson is a living example of how to deal with loss and how adversity can be the threshold to greatness. George Horton knows strategy like few others. He's not a man of dramatic speeches, but he knows how to keep a team focused on the few key things that separate the champions from all the rest. John Wooden is the truth. He's shown the world that the shortest path to excellence comes through cultivating a certain quality of being, and with that come not only victories, but wisdom. Each of these coaches provides a slightly different view to an overall plan to maximize the talent we all have. We've all got that talent. It just takes a coach like the guys you're going to hear from to bring it out of us. We start with Jack Langle himself, whose lasting victory was in getting his team to play the game just one more time. The rest, some of them household names, share dozens of national championships between them. They are the greatest winners of all time. They truly are legendary coaches.
When I started at Marshall University and looked at our circumstances, we knew that there was not going to be instant success on the scoreboard. I did not realize, I thought I was rebuilding a football program, and I come to find out that there were 25 townspeople on the plane, doctors and their wives, and state legislators, vice presidents, leadership people within the community. So the university lost some leadership, as well as the football team, coaches, trainers, radio personnel, and then the town lost a great deal of leadership. So it was a total situation. This is a letter I received right before the spring game, and it reads, "Dear Coach Langle, there will be a deep sense of sadness as Marshall University football begins again this season, but it will be mixed with warm pride that last year's freshmen have responded so positively to the great tragedy that struck your campus. The 1970 varsity players could have little greater tribute paid to their memory than the determination to field a team this year. Friends across the land will be rooting for you, but whatever the season brings, you have already won your greatest victory by putting the 1971 varsity squad on the field. Congratulations to you and every member of your team. Sincerely, Richard Nixon."
I think that our program, starting with spring practice, we have an opportunity to exemplify what I think is one of the greatest lessons in athletics, and that's to face adversity, get back up off the ground, and go on to continued success.
The fact that we played the game and we were back was a victory. One of the traditions we started is before our first game, I would take the team to Spring Hill Cemetery, where the obelisk is that has all of the 75 people that were on the plane, their names inscribed on it. And I would explain to them, and particularly the 1971 Young Thundering Herd, I told them, these are your teammates. These are the players that went on before you. These are the players that you're playing for and whose memory you're going to commit and do honor by rebuilding this particular program. And that while we may not have many victories on the scoreboard, our victories will come in the years to come, in other years, and we will share in those victories knowing that we had some small part in building this foundation for this football team. You have to set your goals high, and if we had to go under it, we went under it. If we had to go around it, or if we had to jump over it, we did it. It was a team thing. It was a coaches, players, it was our goals. And once you immerse yourself into that particular philosophy and get everybody to buy into that system, there's very little that you can't accomplish. Marshall has really never left me, and I've never left Marshall. We shared something very, very unique that has made us men and made us closer together, and I think it exemplifies hope, perseverance, dedication, loyalty, camaraderie. And as a byproduct, we have become part of those core values as well.
I was raised in an area where the state championship team came every year. Birmingham, Alabama, Woodlawn High School. So all my life I heard a football being kicked. I heard boys playing. I heard coaches blowing whistles. I heard bands marching up and down the field. All my life, that's what I knew. It was just automatic that I wanted to be a football coach.
You know what we got coming up now? We got Miami. They won today. They're going to come in here about 4th in the nation, or 5th. They're going to come here 4th or 5th in the nation. Well, let's pray.
People wonder what a head football coach does. Really, he's the guy that sets the program, tells them how the program is going to work, how we're going to do it, and then oversees everybody. He doesn't coach. He coaches the coaches. Got 85 guys out there. Some of the guys just work so hard. Some guys work kind of hard, and then some guys don't know how to work, you know? They're not used to being driven, you know? Well, that's, yeah, we all went through that one time or the other. There used to be an expression when I first started coming up and coaching. It was this, a coach talking to his players. Don't do like I do, do as I say do. Then he'd go out and get drunk. That's not my philosophy. That's never been my philosophy. My philosophy has always been, when I coach, don't ask a boy to do something I wouldn't do. Anything I tell him to do, it's something that I hope that I would do if a coach told me. How you doing, man? Huh? Oh, y'all all dressed up.
Coach.
Shorty, how you doing?
How you doing, Coach?
How are your folks back home?
They're doing real good. Yes, sir.
I'm really a private guy. You know, if somebody says, oh, you must really enjoy going to all these meetings and shaking all those hands. You must really enjoy going to all these banquets. Well, no, I really don't. I'd like to be at home by myself, reading, you know, and being with my family. But I make banquet after banquet after banquet, and so far I got them fooled, you know. I've got them fooled. But I think a coach, most of us are probably more private. Most coaches don't run around together. A lot of times people say, who's your favorite coaching buddy? I ain't got a favorite coaching buddy, you know? I got to beat them dadgum guys, and they got to beat me. It's hard for us to get pretty close together. When everything else is equal on a football team and the team you're playing, it's usually which team has got the best leadership, you know? You simply are not going to win all the time. You're going to lose some, you know what? And to me, a coach's success, somebody says, what do you have to do to be a successful coach? I say, you got to get over the bad times. If you never had adversity, you ain't going to be nothing. You have got to have adversity to build your character and find out how tough you are and find out how good your judgment is. A person who's wealthy and born wealthy and never had to work and everything's handed to them, I don't know how they keep them being worthless, you know, as they grow up. You're going to have adversity, you know. There's going to be times where you'll think you do not more deserve to be a football coach than a man in the moon, but you've got to overcome it. You've got to fight your way through it. You can't listen to the outside opinion.
In football, you don't get many opportunities. Now, what is sad is when an opportunity comes and you ain't ready. It's sad when an opportunity comes and you did not prepare yourself to take advantage of that opportunity.
My players, I tell them, I said, now boys, now look, your daddy's back home, 250, 500 miles from here. Your mama is too. They can't help you. I'm your daddy now. And so, yeah, they're like our children. Some of them we have to punish, some of them we have to spank, some of them we don't have to worry about, and some of them don't like to go to class. We got to make them and do this and that. But, oh yes, there is a deep compassion from a coach to a player. And I'll be honest with you, if any coach doesn't have that, they're going to discover it. He's going to be looking for a job before long.
You were fixing to find out what you were made of, you know? You were just fixing to find out what you were made of, because you could have quit, you know? Then we come out and take it opening drive and go down there and don't get nothing. You could have quit then. And then going into the fourth quarter, you could have quit. But everybody fought and fought their guts out, and I am so proud of every one of you. I can't tell you how much.
When I first started coaching back in the 50s, the approach that coaches took to football, a lot of them back then, was to kill. Kill, go out there and kill them. Kill them. You got to be mean. You got to be Griffin, you got to physically whip them and all that. And that was kind of the thing back in those days. But now then, our approach, and I think more coaches, is love. Love. In other words, if my players love each other, they have brotherly love for each other, then they'll fight for each other. Now, you take brothers. You get two brothers, they'll fight like mad against each other. My four sons, I used to buy boxing gloves. Every time they get arguing, all right, y'all solve it, you know? But you try to fight one of them from outside, we gotta whip all four of them. And so you got to have that on your team. That's why I think love is so important. If I don't like you, I ain't gonna block. You think I'm gonna block that guy just so you can make a doggone run? You know? But if I love him and I want him to succeed and he loves me, we're both gonna block for each other and we are gonna be a better team. You know what? Some coach is gonna go out there and be able to mold his team together as a team better than the others, and he's gonna win the national championship if he stays healthy. And so, yeah, that's, back when I started coaching, you mentioned love on the football field, and somebody might forearm you right back up here in the stands.
How you doing, Coach B? You got the camera and everything in your face. I'm looking at it.
I thought you'd
I
like
love
that.
this guy.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
Don't dwell on whether you're gonna win or lose, you know, because you can sit there and talk yourself right out of a doggone ball game. You prepare yourself the best you can, and then we'll take a chance on what happens here, you know? In other words, number one, I try to keep football in the correct priority.
Dear Father, thank you for what a beautiful day. Thank you for bringing us up here safely. And we pray, Father, that you'll help our young men to do their best. That's all they can do is their best.
I'm continually reminding my kids, hey, boys, y'all ain't gonna live forever. When you're your age, you think you're gonna be an old man before you finally die. And last week, I had to remind them, we played Rice University. The next Monday, one of their players dropped dead, you know. So I have to bring that to my boys' attention. Men, you've got to be ready to go. You don't know when time is going to come, but it is going to come. Death and taxes. Death and taxes. Football is not the priority in my life. It is a priority. And it is a big one. It's the way I make my living, you know. But it ain't life and death. I ain't cutting my wrist because of a loss. I want him to come out of Florida State better player, academically complete, and a very deep realization that there's more to life than just football and a job.
Because I'm a female and I'm intense and at times aggressive on the sideline in my style, I think people don't understand that I'm passionate about what I do. I mean, I'm involved, and they see that as being too tough. But I think it's all about being competitive and driven and trying to dial other people up and get these young women to understand they've got more to give. I mean, I love these kids to death, but there's times when you have to understand that you do have to demand a certain level of performance. And if it doesn't happen, I'm not always happy. They're not always happy. But we try and work together through the process to turn things around. I don't have to win another championship. Do I want them to win? Absolutely. Why? Because of what they've invested in women's basketball, in this program, and to each other.
All right, ladies, great start. Starters got us off to a great start. Bench came in, did a great job. Couple questions I have for you. Are you going to play to the level of your competition or to your level?
What a lot of people would probably never know about Coach Summit is how much I care and how soft, that soft side. Obviously, being a mom probably brought me even closer to the student athletes I've coached, because I understood from having my son Tyler just how fragile kids are. I think I'm a better teacher, and I'm more in tune with student athletes because I've experienced motherhood and the needs of a young child.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of Pat Summitt's 800th victory,
It's all about what I can do to help other young women succeed. And I coach them in so many aspects of their lives. I mean, it's not just basketball. I mean, that seems like a small part of it. What I think we have to do as coaches is we have to be ready to say, this is not going to be easy. You want to win, and you want to win a national championship, then you have to understand you got to roll up your sleeves and you got to go to work. And no one else can do that for you. You must do it for yourself. And kids coming in today, it's about instant gratification. Well, it's not happening. You make it happen.
6 national championships, 39-0. Just your thoughts right now.
Annie, I am so happy for this basketball team and so appreciative of their effort and the effort of our staff, and our fans have been tremendous. It's just a great victory for the University of Tennessee. But the people I think the most about right now are the players. They were just awesome tonight. They were ready to play.
If I hadn't have been an Olympic athlete, I'm not sure I would have been the type of coach that really could connect at that level. And I had the opportunity to coach a 1984 Olympic team, and having been an Olympian helped me just to understand the journey. The success that I had in making that team was all about just giving it everything I had and not being afraid to compete. You know, sometimes people they hesitate to go for what they want for fear of failure. And I've never been afraid of failing. I've always focused on the end result. And that's what I did when I tried out for the Olympic team. That's what I encourage players to do.
The Lady Volunteers, the first team ever to go 39-0.
Teaching is my absolute passion. I love it. I mean, I absolutely love teaching young people and teaching the game, because you're teaching the game of life.
Now, let's just try to be as efficient as we can. Let's get into the good habits.
I've recruited student athletes from a lot of different environments, and kids that have come from broken homes, and they come into an environment which they feel very secure. They have a family, and that opportunity to compete at this level gives you the strength and the courage to compete at a different level when you leave here. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it. I mean, we're all gonna have setbacks, but they've got something inside of them that will not allow them to quit, but to go on to be successful.
If you're going to be a coach, you have to make them better than they think they can be. And that's not easy. That's going to take a lot of pushing and shoving and you know, some tough times.
Get down now. Deny. Pressure the ball, JP. Get him off, get him off, get him off, get a body on him.
In the current time, people are always looking for that quick fix, okay? You know, I want this, but I don't want to have to spend the time and put the effort in to accomplish this. And that's one great thing about athletics. That's not possible. If you're going to be good, you're going to have to be dedicated. The game is a game of fundamentals. There's no way for someone to develop fundamentals other than through drill work and concentration on what they're doing.
Concentrate all the way now. No mishandles. Get through the whole thing. Head up, Jordan.
The thing about basketball, it's so much of a team game. If a team's going to be successful, you can't have 5 stars. You have to have people that are going to be supportive type players. You're going to have some guys that are going to rebound and be your leader in that area. In 1988, when we had our first ever team ranked #1 in the country, with Sean Elliott and Steve Kerr and Tom Talbert and some of these people. But we had a group on the bench called the Gumbies. And the Gumbies were, I mean, they were so into the game that our fans used to come to watch the Gumbies. You know, even if they didn't get in, or if they got in with 2 minutes to go, they had as much support as anybody else. And I think that's what you try to do in team building, is to get everyone on that team to feel like they have a real reason for being there, and they're going to make a great contribution. I grew up in a very difficult situation. My father passed away of a stroke when I was 5, so I never really got to know my dad. My brother was away at college, came home to run the farm in North Dakota, and about 8 months or so later was killed in a traffic accident. And all of a sudden it was my mom with 3 of us with an 8th grade education. There's only one way you make it, and that's get up off the ground. Everybody works hard, contributes. I think dealing with adversity, how you deal with it, is going to have a big effect on what you can accomplish during the course of your life. I think back on the hardest year that we've ever had here was with the team in 2000, 2001. It was a difficult year. We faced some problems on the team where there were some suspensions. And then along with it, my wife, of 47 years, Bobby, had been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, 3rd stage. And when it's 3rd stage, that's not good. There are not very many people that have recovered from that. And I mean, the dedication that she had to that team, I mean, the number of surgeries that she went through, but her surgeries were always scheduled when the team was away from home so that she could come back and be in that seat when the team played. And our teams had always been very, very close to Bobby. And that, I mean, when they didn't see her around a lot, they knew something was wrong. And Bobby passed a couple days after I talked with the team, and then it became a matter of, would I come back? That was the big question that a lot of people asked. But I came back for one reason, that was for the team. Because I knew what they had been going through, and that if I was going to be a leader that was going to show them that you have to deal with adversity. There have been so many situations that have happened in my lifetime where all of a sudden someone that you would not think would be facing death is gone like that. How can anyone think that, well, death is going to come at the time when I expect it to come? It's not. Live every day. I've heard it too many times. I wish I had. Okay, so if you wish you had, start doing it right now.
They're not going to foul him. It's only right. The ball's in his hands. A milestone victory for Arizona. Simon Says championship.
I've been involved in coaching, first of all on the high school level for 13 years, and then junior college, and then Division I. So I've been doing this 50 years. So I hope that what I am is conveyed to my players to where they'll take the good things with them as they leave, and they'll pass them on. I think that's a great thing about coaching, is that, you know, you may have affected kids that you've played, but how many times and how many people have each of those people affected? Hopefully my presence has been felt, and hopefully I've changed some people for the better, and I think I've worked very hard at doing what my family, what my mother would have expected me to do.
If I had to say what is my philosophy, we think the difference in Cal State Fullerton baseball and all the others that are out there is not the time that we spend, it's the quality of time that we spend and doing everything. And I think you could say that in every endeavor that you take into your life. I hope that what you would hear from other people outside this program is that we do everything at least as good as everybody else out there, and that's what we're striving for.
Here we go, bro. Let's get a leadoff hitter on ABC, huh?
Yeah, I think rules and guidelines and philosophy and structure in almost any arena is very valuable. And I think the word trust comes to mind for me because I've had some success and I've won National Coach of the Year awards and we won national championships. And the young men that first join our program come in here with a lot of trust that I know what I'm doing.
We're going to put fastball swings on curveballs. We're not going to get cheated. We're going to beat the crap out of their infielders. That's the mission. We're not going to alter our swings to do that because you're trained to do that. And we're going to do that with confidence. And we're going to commit to simple things over and over and over again. And we're going to trust that.
We use the 3 Ps, and we use this in competition, and we use this on our everyday life. And the 3 Ps are that we want to stay present, so it doesn't really matter how we got to this point, good day, bad day, and we are positive. And so we want to take that present mentality and have a positive outlook into taking an exam, taking an at-bat. And the 3rd P is a big one, and staying with the process. We don't just take it 1 inning at a time, we take it 1 pitch at a time. And we ask our guys to keep their eye off the scoreboard. That's a little bit philosophical because you need to know the outs and the count and how many runs you're behind. But the analogy is that we want to keep our eye off the scoreboard, and at the end of 9 innings, if we've won enough pitches along the way, then the scoreboard's going to reward us for that. To give you an example of something that's happened in this program, of just taking it 1 game at a time and 1 pitch at a time, was our last national championship endeavor in 2004, where we had locked up with the University of Texas. It was a 2 out of 3 format. We had worked our way through one of the brackets and had the privilege of playing for the national championship. And when we won the first game, the first thing that started coming out of our players' mouth is 1 more game. All we need to do is 1 more game. And when I got them into the locker room, I pretty much got in their dish a little bit and got in their faces and basically told them, bullshit, 1 more game. All we're going to think about for tomorrow, tonight in our imagery, is the first pitch in tomorrow's game. I was so committed to 1 pitch at a time, as well as my players and staff were, that it ended up being a fly ball to the right fielder for the last out of that particular game. And it wasn't until that ball was coming down on its downward arc to the right fielder that I realized what was just about ready to happen.
Fastball to Morrall, hit in the air, to straightaway right, Andrews. Cal State Fullerton has done it. They've gone from 15 and 16 to champions of college baseball.
Something that had happened prior to that, as I get very stressful and a lot of things on my plate before a game, my wife was in my hotel room and I have my little, what I call my brain, my little cheat sheet, so I'm jotting down thoughts and different things to share with my assistants or the team. And so I had a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak, bouncing around, and I stand up and my wife starts laughing at me. And I said, what are you laughing at? And she goes, aren't you gonna wear some pants today? And so I start cracking up and she starts cracking up, and of course that's the detail that stress took from me, was I forgot to put my pants on. And just, can you imagine being on national television giving signs and I got no pants on?
Cal State Fullerton from the Big West qualified for the College World Series for the 12th time. Head coach George Horton is one of 9 men to appear as a player and as a head coach.
The sport of baseball is a failure-based sport because the best hitters in the world fail 7 out of 10 times. It's not so much, are you going to fail or are you going to succeed? It's how you deal with that failure that really separates the men from the boys. And to prepare them for life and the challenges in life, and for minor league baseball when they go out and they fail or they have a week where they go 0 for 40, I want to provide for them tools to be able to deal with that. No coach alive can prevent slumps or failure in athletics. But what a coach can do is create a series of tools for that particular young man to have a bounce back effort and to overcome things and overcome failure. And the way we look at failure here in our program is just an opportunity to turn something around or to bounce back.